Your friend ate a chocolate bar and is feeling way more than usual. Does cacao enhance the trip, or is it just placebo? Let's explore the science of psilocybin mushroom chocolate and if it's better than lemon tech. Chocolate contains many unique compounds, including flavonoids that increase blood flow to the brain and decrease neuroinflammation. This overlaps with psilocybin in a lot of ways, theoretically synergizing some of the effects. I'm Aaron, a bioengineer and licensed psilocybin facilitator with Itera. Triptime Essentials is dedicated to psychedelic science, education, and harm reduction, and we never encourage the use of illegal substances. It is important to understand that many mushroom chocolate bars sold in stores and online do not actually contain any psilocybin. Subscribe to check out our upcoming video on this subject as a whole, including what do they actually contain. So let's say you do have a chocolate bar containing actual psilocybin mushrooms. It's important to understand the composition of the chocolate itself. Cacao beans are processed in several different ways. Many common cacao powders go through a process called alkalization, which increases the pH and reduces the acidity of chocolate. This also destroys many polyphenols contained in the chocolate. Polyphenols are beneficial antioxidants and actually may contribute to some of these theorized synergy of effects between cacao and psilocybin. This alkalization process is also referred to as Dutch process, or Dutched cacao, or Dutched chocolate. So if you're buying some dark chocolate bar to use, know that the label may refer to it as Dutch processed, or the Dutch method. And it's best to avoid this. I wanted to point out this cacao processing difference because it impacts what chocolates people should be using in combination with psilocybin mushrooms. The non-alkalized chocolate bar has a pH of about 5.3 to 5.8, which is mildly acidic. From the research we've seen from Rose City Labs on acidic beverages and psilocybin, the acidity should help with prolonging or preserving the potential active psilocin. Again, combination of psilocybin and psilocin there. This acidity is nowhere close to the acidity of something like lemon juice, which is used in lemon teching, and that sits more at the pH range of around 2 to 3. About 2,000 times stronger or 2,000 times more acidic than this cacao. There is no direct research showing what happens to the psilocybin when mixed with chocolate. So if you're looking for more evidence-based psilocybin consumption methods, lemon juice or orange juice have been specifically researched. And you can check out our other videos here to explore what that looks like. Luckily with chocolate, there is minimal water content, so the stability of the psilocybin should be pretty solid, especially with this mild acidity and some preservation action going on with the antioxidant compounds in quality non-alkaline processed chocolate. It is important to understand that once mushrooms are ground up, the psilocybin theoretically is breaking down a little bit quicker than if it were to be in whole mushrooms themselves. That being said, research for ground mushrooms is pointing to it maintaining potency for even out to a year. Now, mind you, this is with a desiccant pack, it's properly sealed, and we're talking about the legal psilocybin industry here in Oregon. It could even go out farther than that. We don't know entirely yet. We want to maintain those chocolate polyphenols. These compounds include flavonoids, flavonols, and anthocyanins, all of which are antioxidants. Some flavanol-rich cacao extracts have even been researched for their beneficial effects on mood. Antioxidants have a theme of producing mood benefits, possibly through reducing neural inflammation or inflammation within the brain in general. Flavonols in cacao also have been shown to boost blood flow, which might help with those annoying cold hands and feet you get on mushrooms. This also includes cerebral blood flow to the brain, which is generally a good thing. So next time your buddy offers you a legal psilocybin chocolate bar, ask him if it's alkalized chocolate or not. He may call you a big nerd, but hey, that's what we're here for. There are also other compounds in chocolate that do alter the effects of a trip. Cacao contains some caffeine, but a lot of related compounds, including theobromine. Theobromine contributes to a stimulating experience both physically and mentally. This is substantially weaker than caffeine in blocking adenosine 2A receptors, but still does act as a stimulant and increase heart rate. These two compounds are likely the most noticeable contributors to any of the effects coming from the chocolate that we know of at this point. Some forum posts have raved about the beta-carboline content of chocolate, and these compounds are similar to the harmala alkaloids used in the ayahuasca brew which slow the breakdown of tryptamines such as DMT and psilocybin by blocking MAOA enzymes. But chocolate only contains minuscule quantities of them, measured in the micrograms per gram of chocolate. It is highly unlikely that chocolate blocks MAOA at the amounts you can humanly consume. As much as I'd like this to be true, because it would point out to cacao having a large effect on a journey, those forum users are probably a little bit off base here. You'd probably overdose on theobromine and caffeine before you'd get enough beta-carbolines to have an effect on the journey. Chocolate does bring along some nutrients with it, including a mild dose of the mineral magnesium, coming in at about 50 milligrams of magnesium per 100 grams of dark chocolate. Again, a small amount there. Magnesium is a calming mineral with many benefits that may support cardiovascular system as well. And if you want a higher dose of magnesium, check out our pre-trip product, which comes in at 310 milligrams of magnesium, plus 12 other active ingredients optimized for calming and stomach soothing effects. Link and discount in the description below. Several facilitators and clients in the legal industry in Oregon have found that when consuming a psilocybin chocolate, stomach upset is actually a little bit more common. While there's some science pointing to cacao products increasing this effects, it seems like it's pretty minimal, more like a 6% increase according to one really large study. This is cacao without psilocybin, so there could be other pieces going on here, but what I'm mentioning in Oregon is more of an anecdotal note. Something else to note here is you've probably heard of ceremonial cacao. That's a really interesting topic that we're going to be doing a video on in the future. So subscribe to stay tuned for that. Ceremonial cacao does have some other interesting factors going on that are a little bit beyond just the science that we have to prove anything at this point. But we still want to produce a video on that and how cacao ceremonies are very much a real thing. To highlight a safety note too, if you are using harmful alkaloids or other MAOA inhibitors, it is safest to not consume chocolate since it contains tyramine, which can elevate blood pressure for people on MAOIs. So if you're thinking about doing ayahuasca with a mushroom chocolate, it is safest to skip the chocolate for that trip. Overall, the reasons to consume mushrooms in chocolate format are pretty compelling, but I do want to reel this all back in. Chocolate tastes good, and taste can be a big variable in starting off the vibe or projection of your experience. And yes, chocolate has some other interesting compounds in it that may have an effect, but the amount of chocolate you're taking in depends on the potency of your bar and the potency of your dose. So the amount of all these other compounds that come along for the ride depends on the amount of chocolate you're actually consuming. Possibly making a weaker bar so that you have some more polyphenols involved could be a way to go if you're wanting to bring along some of these other compounds that are active in the chocolate. And if you're not already, subscribe to stay tuned on how to make mushroom chocolates, especially in the legal industry. If you're curious about the harmful alkaloids I was talking about, go check out this video on ayahuasca. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, elevate your trip.